Welcome to Writing a Screenplay. It is time for the segment titled Heartache, which immediately follows the interview, which I just did that video. That's why I'm wearing the same exact shirt. So I'm going right into it here. Now, the interview ends with Mike killing Jeff and getting the job, thinking it's a VR experience, and it's not. Welcome to Genentech. And we go to Community College Hall. Should be hallway. I don't know. Um, Stephen is all smiles, handing out cards to students as he walks the hall. He stops at a job posting board and tacks on pamphlets for Genentech. Later in that same hall, all but one of the pamphlets are taken. Jade snatches up the last one and gives it a gander. The spunky college student puts the pamphlet in her multicolored anime bag. Outside the college, Jade walks from the main building to the parking lot. A few people wave at the likable girl. It's an easy way to see, she doesn't have to save the cat or anything. People can just be friendly to you, and we get it. People like that person. She walks through the parking lot and sees a guy her age with shaggy hair pacing at her Camry. I don't know why I went with Camry. Shit. As she approaches, her ex-boyfriend Peter stops pacing and tries to play it cool. Hey, how was class? So if you remember the notes from Heartache, it's a guy struggling to get over an ex and tries to rekindle it. Doesn't really happen for him. She's seeing somebody else anyway. It's really all very sad. Um, and during this process, something weird happens to him. The farther he is from her physically, like the more it genuinely physically hurts. Like it's heartache. You get it? So that starts to happen, and there's really not many changes from what we did in the notes to what's here. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of banter, a lot of character stuff. So I'll try to scroll slowly in case you do want to slow it down and read it for whatever reason. Um, but yeah, we have the awkward, hey, how's it going? Oh, you look good. Oh, yeah, yeah. We've been texting a bit. That's been good. Boo boo doo. So, gonna get back together? Or it's like, oh shit, no, not going to happen. And then that sucks. It's all very good. I mean, not for Peter, but it's good stuff. It's a little too real. That's why I kind of don't want to read it right now. But it's very good. Uh, we learn a lot about these characters, and because I think it's important if we're gonna do this fantasy, heartache thing, where we're creating these rules of the distance and stuff. There needs to be a good catalyst for it. Like he really needs to hurt, and we're gonna hurt him. We hurt him real good. So there's that. Um, yep, yep, yep. We do a good job here, but we need to. And after this opening's probably the longest part of it, and then it's a series of him, like what, and he figures it out in relatively short order because that's not good. If we try to stretch that out, that's no fun either. People will get annoyed. I know I would if I was in the audience. Um, so yeah, Jesus Christ, this opening, this parking lot, cheap though, cheap to shoot, cheap to shoot. So yeah, they do a little hug. I don't know what to do here. Do we hug? They say goodbye. Peter walks off as she unlocks her Camry with his back to Jade. She can't see him bawling uncontrollably. That night in his bedroom, um, see, and that's another thing. So I was trying to do like a 3-day weekend sort of thing. We talked about that. This one, we definitely start in the day and we go through the night and we go to the next day. And that's fine. So for whatever reason, I was trying to do a 3-day weekend thing. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case that I can tell, but it doesn't matter. That night in his bedroom, he can't sleep, clutches his chest as he turns on his back, hoping this position might be the one to get him through the night. Um, Interior Peter's bedroom later. It wasn't. So the man can't get to sleep. Bathroom moments later, he's trying to massage it. You ever like just give yourself that knuckle? You're just trying to rub in every type of way you can. Takes a bunch of Tums, which I actually Googled. Can you overdose from Tums? Turns out you can, but you do need to like a fucking shit ton. So, uh, yeah, that's our little sequence there. Can't sleep. So what do you do when you can't sleep? You walk around. Maybe you leave. You actually go for a walk outside, which is what he does. He stops walking though when he sees where he is. How did I get? Where's he at? It's outside Jade's apartment. Um, but let's go back here to when he starts his walk. Peter takes a walk and hopes the activity will, at the very least, distract him of the pain. It seems to be working. He doesn't look to be hurting at all. And of course, we find out why because he's at her apartment. She's nearby. Um, he looks at the three-story building while Jade's voice echoes in his brain as past memories play in his head. So we start to hear her voice. I've never been this happy. Sometimes I wonder if it's real. Merry Christmas, Peter. I'm excited about moving in together so I can have you whenever I want. So he's, reliving some memories in his head. Um, these lines aren't the greatest. I will probably punch that up when we get to rewriting. Um, so yeah, he starts walking back to his house, and of course that pain, he's grimaces a bit. It's starting to return. So people are going to be figuring that out very quickly. Like, oh, I get it. He feels better when he's by, or hurts when. Yeah. So we don't play that game too often. As a matter of fact, he figures it out. I think in maybe this next scene after this one. He has a roommate, apartment, dining room, morning. Peter steps out of the kitchen with a bowl of cereal in his hands. He looks like hell, and his roommate Craig lets him know about it. You look like hell. Didn't sleep much or at all. I get it. I look like shit. Like shit, back body dropped into a dumpster fire. You done some little roommate banter, and he tries to give him advice. He's just, Peter's like, I got fucking heartburn or something. Tums, tried it. Baking soda and water, tried it. His roommate grabs his jacket and his work bag. Sips some apple cider vinegar. Absolutely not. Try some ginger. I don't like redheads. I can't help it. I can't help that. But there are stupid jokes in there sometimes. I might get rid of that. Um, so the roommate's like, here's some remedies that I know of. Give it a shot. And then the roommate leaves. Peter has a Jeep. Don't know why. So it's work time for Peter. He's backing out. He's sipping his morning coffee. Um, Peter passes Jade's apartment, and where he says, "This is normal. This is my normal route to work. I mean, it's not the most efficient route, but it's my route, so we're fine here." Because he doesn't want to be stalkerish about it, driving past her place every time. So he's just like, "This is just the way to work. It's fine. It's cool." Uh, he pulls on the main street and continues on, but his chest pains worsen. What the hell's going on? It gets bad. His vision gets blurry. Fuck. Okay, hospital it is. U-turn. Once he gets going the other direction, the pain subsides a bit. So then we get him to the hospital. They're like, we don't really know, but we're gonna give you this, you know, just in case. Um, and it's very short, very short. Um, then we go to Omega Sandwiches. I had to create a sandwich shop, and I went with Omega Sandwiches. And he pulls up. Ooh, I gotta change that. I gotta change that. Peter pulls up to the sandwich shop, parking right behind Jade's Camry. Now, the reason I have to change that is because Jade's gonna leave later. She's not gonna leave in Jade's Camry. She's gonna leave in. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. We'll just go right into it. Yeah. Okay. So we start inside Omega Sandwiches a day. And it's cozy, overpriced sandwich place, all that kind of stuff. Jade makes a mean Italian sub sandwich before handing it to her coworker Ken, who rings the customer up. So we're meeting Ken here as a coworker. Peter walks inside, and Jade doesn't spot him right away, but Ken does. Pete stops rubbing his chest as he looks over at Jade, confirming. Uh-huh. Shit. Um, so he goes over and is just like, "Hey, hope it's cool. I just love the sandwiches here. How are you doing? I'm fine. Shouldn't you be at work? Personal day, um, little lunch." So they have that little conversation, and Ken appears next to Jade. And Sultan Sandwiches has a good Italian sub. Oh, you like Italian subs? You should go to that store. Um, his words are friendly, but his tone and look sure as hell aren't. Ken doesn't want Peter here at all. I'll have to give it a shot one day, Ken. It is Ken, right? Yep. It's got a good menu there. I'd eat there all the time if I could. It's amazing compared to here. And of course, Jesus Christ fun. Laying it on a little thick, Ken. And she says, I've got it. I'm going to have to throw this phone again. Why did they make me do this? Did I spell devastated wrong? I sure did. And Peter puts it together real quick with how aggressive Ken's being when he says, "So you and Ken then, huh? I'm not comfortable talking with you about that sort of thing." That's a yes. Oh God, he has a bit of a little meltdown here. Nobody likes to hear that. Um, yeah, just another kick in the dick for old Pete. He gets his sandwich and he storms out, almost bumping into a cop entering in the process. Um, do I want to put police officer? Because I think I have him as police officer. I'll do that for now. But right outside the sandwich shop, every step he takes farther from the store, the pain in his chest gets worse. It's bad now, and he drops to a knee, trying not to fully collapse. What the hell? And he looks back to the store, and he's like, all right, let's find out. And he goes back inside, and of course, he feels better, and son of a bitch. Um, and the reason, like, why does it hurt? Why does such a short distance hurt now compared to like he was like 5 blocks away before, and now he can't be, you know, 20 yards? Like, why are the rules changing? Well, he just took another more emotional, you know, thwack. He's just been hurt more finding out like, oh god, she's dating this guy. Oh my god, she's dating somebody. All that, so is that has affected the distance. I think it works. I think it works. I love the rules of this. So he goes back inside, you know, um, and they're like, okay, he's coming over. He's here, and he's like, just gonna eat over here if that's okay. They're better fresh. Meanwhile, what the hell am I going to do? He sits at a booth. Gee, what? This is insane. Jade keeps looking over. It's weird. It's weird. It's a weird situation. It's uncomfortable. So she goes to take her break, and Ken goes up to Peter and is like, "All right, you got to go." And he's like, "I can't. You can't or you won't. Whichever one gets you the hell away from me." So Ken knows that cop is there. So Peter, he says, "Peter, don't make me call the cops." And of course, the police officer looks over there. What's going on over here? Yeah, this guy's a stalker, one of our employees, he's an ex-boyfriend. All right, son, you should leave. He's like, I can't. He's like, son, I won't ask twice. Don't make me arrest you on my lunch break. That'll piss me off. Don't piss me off. Which is a Jeff Jarrett quote. 2019, quoting more Jeff Jarrett. Slap nuts. Even standing hurts Peter, but he manages. Every step towards the door ramps up the pain. His legs wobble a bit as he reaches the door. I'm really trying to sell the blurred vision, the physical pain instead of him just going ow, ow. You try to show it. As soon as he gets outside, because they throw him out, he's keeping his back against the wall. Like he needs to be as close as possible. And it's like if he's going to be kicked out of the store, this is as close as possible. Then he almost falls over, but uses the brick storefront to prop himself. Let's go with himself up as he maneuvers to the side of the building to wait in the alley, just in time to avoid the police officer leaving with his lunch. But later that night, it's closing time, and while the manager stays behind to lock up, Ken and Jade leave for the night. They get in Ken's Prius. Um, that's why her Camry can't be there. Peter fights through the excruciating pain and makes it to his Jeep. He starts the engine and drives after Ken's car, which pulls out in front of him. So it's a real quick. They're getting her car. He's like, I gotta get to mine, because if they pull off and he's fumbling with his keys or whatever, they can go and die. But he manages. So he follows a bit. Um, Ken pulls onto Jade Street, and as he does, he sees Peter turn as well in the rearview mirror. Ken accelerates, creating some distance, and so Peter tries to keep up. Peter's vision blurs as Ken pulls over in front of Jade's apartment. Ken gets out of his car before Peter is even there yet. What's your problem, Dick? Ken dives out of the way as Peter blacks out from the pain and almost runs him over. Peter's foot comes off the gas pedal, so when his Jeep swerves into a light pole, it's not too bad. Here's. I'll rewrite some of this. Some of the lines are clunky. The jolt of the impact brings him to. He's across the street from Jade, and that distance is too much. He crawls out of his Jeep and shuffles over where Jade is getting out of Ken's car. What are you doing? It hurts. It hurts so much. What? Being away from you is killing me. It's like, oh, Jesus. And Ken's just done with it. You idiot. You could have fucking killed someone with that. You could have killed Jade. Ken goes up to Peter and punches him right in the jaw. Bam! Yeah, Ken, stop it. So it's a big hullabaloo out here outside the apartment. And Jade reaches inside her anime bag and pulls out her car keys. She gets inside her Camry, and Peter does not like that. Jade, no, please don't leave. Give it up, buddy. Peter manages to push Ken off, crawls towards Jade's car as she fires it up and speeds off. See, I have off there, back to back. I don't like you. You guys know I don't like that. So I'll change that at some point. The farther her car goes, the worse Peter's chest pains get, his vision fading, fading, fading. Ken looks over to watch Jade drive away. Well, you did it. You drove her away. Ken turns back to Peter, where his lifeless body lies. And that is Heartache. I love it. I love it. I think it's very good. I like the rules. I think it will resonate with a lot of people. I like the fact that I wanted it to be 10 to 15 pages, and it's 16 pages, so still just one page over. Won't get hot about it. I love it. I love everything about it. Um, Needs some tweaking here and there, but the whole, that's rough drafts. That's how first drafts go. So, I think that's going to do it for Heartache here. Comments, questions, all that stuff below, I guess. The next segment in this horror anthology is going to be The Hidden Light. I don't know why I had to look. I've already written most of it, um, which is true. Um, just about done with that. I wanted to be done with the script by Christmas. That didn't happen. Um, and even though it's a self-imposed deadline, I don't like going over. So I'm trying to take her home. I've spent more time working on this. Uh, less other things, more of this. Um, I've cut I've cut the graveyard shift. I know I talked about possibly doing it after I finished Heartache, which is right here, and we're on page 88. I don't know if you can even see it because that the thing's in the way, but it's page 88, and with two more segments to go, or potentially three more segments to go, I said we're gonna go ridiculously high. Now the graveyard shift was added in late, so if there was one segment that wouldn't hurt the rest of the project, it would be the one that was added in late. So I'm gonna remove it late as well, uh, which kind of sucks because it's a very cool story. The Graveyard Shift is a spooky gas station story. I know I liked it. I know some of my people liked it. Um, Maybe it'll get. It's not gone forever. It's not gone forever. So, yeah. So Graveyard Shift's gone. Only two segments remain: The Hidden Light and Home Sweet Home, the haunted house segment. And so that's going to do it for Heartache. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon.